be here.
You honored?
I'm honored to be here.
That is crazy. Wait,
I've had a few podcast, people like, hey, I'm like, I go through and
yeah. This is the bougie side of town. This ain't the joint. You gotta duck your head
with a phone,
and you ain't have to duck because it's like sometimes you get them joints in the ceiling below, and you be like, this is the bougie side of podcast.
Hey, listen, y'all had good dialogue. I was looking at the clips and stuff yesterday. I was like, oh man, they only have real dialogues. Okay, yes. I love it. Yes.
And you made my day. You really made my day.
No, it's needed.
I'm excited.
It's needed.
I watched your other interview. That was a really good interview. But I want to dig into Ab, who you are, the man. We doing the man and the music.
Okay, I'm with it.
But we want to get into all the good stuff.
All right, perfect.
Ready?
That's a pause.
You
want to get into the big stuff, buddy?
No,
buddy.
Diddy. I'm gonna come with some baby oil one day, and I'm gonna sit that joint right here, just because.
Yo, this is crazy. This is a random thought. I think when Puff come home, I think Puff should put his own baby oil out. I swear that shit is sell.
And it was
sell.
I swear that shit is sell.
On some real shit,
business and money
I'm not even mad about it. I agree.
And put like a little scent and maybe put like a little umph in it.
What kind of scent, dog?
Well, baby oil already has a scent.
Never mind, dog.
Baby oil already has a scent.
Cocoa butter. Take that.
I don't know.
Take that. That's the label gonna say. The label gonna say, take that.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of On Purpose with Stacey J. We have a dynamic guest in the house that we are happy and proud to be sitting next to and getting ready to jump into some deep conversation. But before we do that, I would like for my co-host to introduce themselves. Our co-host, Mr. Kid, a.k.a. Deacon Leon Lonnie Love, called out today, so he's not here. Well, we do have my other two co-hosts. We got to the left of me, we have
Jim Lee from Lee Monument Company.
Jim Lee from Lee Monument Company. Way over here to the right.
Way over here to the right. What's up with your boy Josie? What's happening, y'all?
And last but not least, today's guest. I had a little something I wrote up, and I had to put my real glasses on for this. So
say it with your chest.
I say it with my chest.
Drum roll for this joint.
Yes, I'm really excited. So today's guest represents longevity, discipline, and staying the course. Ab, because they've been fussing at me the way that I present. I'm going to go ahead and say it.
She going to fuck this up.
Ab-Liva.
Yes.
Ab, she had you as Ab everything else.
No, I did not. That's exactly the way that I was saying it.
No, it's not.
No, I did not.
She had you as Ab-Liva.
No, I did not. Lies you tell.
L-Train.
Yo, dog, it was just, we had to give her a whole 5-minute tutorial.
I said it the right way.
No, ma'am.
That's okay.
I hope we got that on film so we can run that back. But anyway, go ahead.
Ab is a Philadelphia native and member of Major Figgas and the Clipse, and has built a career rooted in authenticity and respect for the culture. And with some Grammy nominations,
yes,
with an S,
yes,
not nomination. We just want to welcome you here. We're excited about your journey. We are blessed to have you in the place. And I just want to say something real quick before I turn this over. The reason why I feel so blessed to have you is because I had met you a couple of times before. Just hi. Somebody introduced us and it was hi and bye. And then just Sunday, we were at the after party in AC. And someone reintroduced us. Shout out to Damon Belton. Thank you, Damon. And I'm like telling you congrats, and I was like, you got to come on our show, and you was like, absolutely. And you didn't know anything about the show. You just said yes right away, and you meant it. A lot of people either do one or two things. They'll kind of brush you off, especially when you look at your portfolio, your resume, and all your accomplishments. For you to easily say yes to me, and you meant it, and you made sure that that Damon made sure that I got your contact information. Yep. And you go away to the Grammys, and so we're going to talk about all that, and that you made it so that we could talk to you before you left to even go to the Grammys.
Most definitely. That's how it's supposed to be.
Man, you don't even know what that did for me, because a lot of people, especially in your position, and there's nothing wrong with it, where they got to say no a lot. You easily said yes.
a lot of times if you have to say no, it should be because you may have something going on, you're traveling, you're not in town or something. But outside of that, I want to see us win.
Thank you.
You know, so whenever I see someone who looks like me, come from a similar background, doing something to move us forward, any way I could be helpful, I'm with it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That meant a lot. I was like, I was so excited. And so, don't be hating.
No, I'm about to fix you because she said major figures. It's Major Figgas. I'm sorry. I can't listen. It's for the culture. I can't have you out here in the street.
I didn't say figures.
Yeah, I'll be damned. I'll be damned. When they run it back, it's gonna be Major Figures.
You see what I go through? This is all the time. It's all the time. Oh my God! But it's okay.
I'm just saying.
But I'm happy to have you here. Thank you again for being here.
Thank you. I'm honored. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So one of the things that I definitely wanted to know is a little bit about you before you even got into the music industry. I know that I do know that you were born in Atlanta. Am I right?
Well, I was born here, but I was raised.
But you raised in Atlanta.
For the most part in Atlanta.
And then you back and forth from Philly.
Yeah, I came back. I would come back during the holiday in the summer, around like Christmas, New Year's. Okay. And then when I started high school, I moved back to Philly.
Okay. You mentioned working. When you was telling us the story, you mentioned working somewhere in an office building. What kind of work did you do before you really took off in music?
Well, I had really two jobs. I ran around the streets as a knucklehead for a few years, but when I got myself together, I worked downtown in the loading dock of an office building down 19th and Market. And that's where I met Touré's mom. Okay. And she introduced us and whatnot. We've been friends ever since. And then I worked at NCO, which was a collection company.
I remember that, NCO.
Yeah, I worked at NCO. Me and all my homies.
I called my house.
Yeah, right. So I did that, and then I like stepped out on faith, followed my music career, and been doing that ever since.
Okay, so when did you? I'm gonna have to ask this the right way. When did you fall in love with hip hop?
Oh, I remember.
Wow.
I remember. I want to say, I lived in Atlanta, and because I was from Philly and would come back, I would hear Power 99, and I would hear rap, and then I would go back to Atlanta, and it'd be slow, and I would have to wait until the records found their way down there.
Right.
But I remember being here and hearing it on the radio on Power 99, and I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, I love this. And then I would go home to Atlanta and then wait until it made its way on the radio down there. But hearing it, first as a kid, like, I just knew from the rip that this is something that I loved. I gravitated to.
And even as a kid, were you freestyling or were you just sitting in your room writing? Like, were you writing?
No, I want to say I would like kind of like scribble raps when I was about like 12 or 13. Is when I would just like, just try little raps and whatnot. Okay. That's where that started.
Really?
Yes.
And then with Major Figgas. Did I say it right?
Yeah, you better than the first time. Because the first time you was just prim and proper, Major Figures.
I hate you. How did that come about? How did that connection come about?
So I grew up, when I moved back to Philly, I moved up to Erie Avenue as a teenager. And most of the guys at Major Figgas, we lived in the same neighborhood. My friend Gilly, he didn't rap. He played basketball. So we knew each other from playing basketball. Okay. So one day, I guess he wrote his first rap and felt like he wanted to battle, and and I gave him some work. He's like, no, I was tripping.
I was just like,
psych. And from there, we started going to the studio, and then he and Wallow actually started Major Figgas, and we all would go. It was only one studio in our neighborhood, at my man Peanut's house. So we would go to Peanut's house, and all of us were there recording and whatnot. And unfortunately, Wallow went to jail, but Gilly and I, and Bump and the rest of the guys that Major Figgas, and my sister Bianca, we kept it going.
Your sister rap too?
No. She like my sister.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to ask about me when it was my turn to ask some questions. I'm going to let you do your thing, but I was just saying, Bianca was listen. She had bought that smoke.
Okay,
she did. Like, listen, I remember they had a mix CD that I used to run in my Tahoe. It was wait for the hook or watch the hook. Watch the hook. Listen, that joint stayed in rotation in my Tahoe. Remember back in the day, you used to have to either go to Broad Street to get your system put in, or either Perzan's out 69th Street. I had a green Tahoe with 12 subs in the back. Man, that joint stayed in rotation, man. Listen, because you start the first freestyle with Beanie Siegel, you open that joint up. Woo! And if y'all know, y'all know. Listen.
That's the Beanie. Yeah.
Listen.
Yes, that was fun, man. That was a great time, man. It was a great time. And Bianca definitely, like, all of us guys, we were together. And
right.
we just started as Major Figgas. And she was brought to us last. And when they brought her to me, they was like, she can rap and whatnot. And I heard her in a booth. And I was like, oh, shorty got she got some smoke to it. Like nobody wrote for her. She wrote her own raps. And I love that. And she just wanted to get better. So we invited her into the fold.
Really?
And she, it was like the perfect compliment to them. Like, it's crazy. I'll send you some of that stuff.
Sort of like how I am to y'all. Okay, I get it.
Vice versa, like we are to you, maybe. But yeah, so go ahead, do your thing. I'm
No,
chilling.
you good.
So, like, I've been rocking with y'all since '99. Like, and one of my questions was how you ended up. One of the biggest things I wanted to know is the Clipse in y'all. Like, how did that Philly VA thing happened, dog? Like, man, that's crazy.
Man, it's crazy how God works, because after I got out of high school and I was like trying to gravitate to music, a guy that had went to high school with me, his name is Lee. He was a few years older than I was. His parents let him turn his garage into a studio.
Okay.
So he had a group called 100X. So during the 90s, they were putting out projects, shooting videos and everything and whatnot. So it was them and Ram Squad that were kind of popular in Philly at the time.
Yeah.
And I would go to Lee's house and just watch, because I didn't know how to make music. So I would go and watch them record how they made songs, and then I would go back to my friends, and then we would work on music.
Okay.
And Lee was my first producer. So when Gilly started rapping and they wanted to put out a single on Gilly, I took Gilly to Lee, because he was my friend, my first producer.
Right.
And, showed us how to make music. He produced Gilly's first song, which in turn he got a record deal from. So Suave House is the record label that signed Gilly, and they were trying to sign me too.
Okay.
So they were sending Gilly to work with Pharrell, who was an up-and-coming producer at the time, and they were sending me too because they were trying to sign me. And I ran into Lee right before we went to work with Pharrell. And he said, what are y'all up to? And I said, man, we going to Virginia to work with the guy Pharrell. And he's like, dog, that's my cousin, right? And I was like, what? He's like, man, it's my cousin, like family reunion cousin.
Oh, wow.
And Gilly and I flew to Virginia and met Pusha T and Pharrell for the first time. And I said, you got a cousin in Philly named Lee Johnson? He's like, man, that's my cousin. Family reunion cousin and whatnot. So I went from learning how to do music with Lee to start working with Pharrell. I've been working with him for like the last 25 years.
Wow.
So that's crazy. Like, see, this is proof that God aligns stuff and puts people in place, man, in your life that needs to be there.
Well, how did your relationship with Gilly and everybody from Major Figgas,
yes,
how did that help shape who you are today, though?
I have two brothers, blood brothers, and both of my brothers got incarcerated years ago and did a lot of time. My youngest brother, he just did 27 years.
Wow.
He came home a year ago. And my brother closest in age to me, he did 18 years.
Okay.
So both of my brothers got incarcerated right around the time when I started running with Major Figgas. So they were kind of like surrogate brothers for me,
right?
Because my blood brothers weren't here. So the brotherhood that we have to this day, because we just were all hanging out last week, performed Yet Us Up. So we haven't performed that. I don't know how long.
Wow.
Maybe at the Roots Picnic, but outside of that, it's been years.
Wow.
Or whatnot. So those are my brothers as well. Yeah. So it really just showed me that how brotherhood can be. Yeah. Even though it's not blood, they couldn't be any closer to me.
Yeah. And then you grew up with I saw on your interview, what is it, Basement Talk. And so I saw on Shout Out to Basement Talk, I saw in that interview where you said you grew up in the same building as Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It's funny because my wife and I, we lived right on the second floor. It was a 3-story house. We lived on the second floor, and you had to walk up the steps to get to the third floor. Kevin, his mom, lived on the third floor. So he had to pass by my apartment every day. And, and at the time, he might have been like 12 or 13. He has an older brother that we're the same age.
Right.
So his brother and I used to play basketball together and whatnot. And Kev was just like his little brother. So I would see him and, he would just be going to school or, going to the laundromat with his mom and whatnot, with Miss Hart and whatnot. So, Gilly and Wallow started coming to my house because they knew I could rap, and they would like come play their songs, freestyles for me and whatnot. And Kev was upstairs. So for all of us to be in the same house, at the same time, that synergy, and to see where everybody else, where able to go with their careers, man, it's been awesome to see.
That house created some
I know. I was
Thank
like,
you. I'm about to say, let me go send my son there for a little
like,
bit. Maybe he come out with some talent.
Yeah, I said,
You know the city will put a plaque out.
Put a marker in front of their house. They deserve that.
They consider it a historic landmark.
Definitely
really
historic
should.
land house.
We need to work on it.
Yeah, they should get that joint.
Now, it's right at the corner of 15th and Erie, and you know who lived one block up on the same block as Gilly? Damon Belton.
Dane? Yeah, Dane.
Light skinned Dane?
He's the one that made the connection.
But he lived right across the street from Gilly.
Get out of here.
Wow.
Wait a minute, he did tell me that.
Yeah.
He actually told me that.
We all grew up together.
Wow.
So I want to shift to the man and the husband and the father.
Okay.
Right? So you've been in the industry for a long time.
Yes. For years, professionally, this marks 26 years.
26 years. Yes. Much love through those.
Thank
yes.
you. Really appreciate it.
So you have 5 children?
Yes.
How many grands, any?
Yes. A whole
lot.
You know, my oldest son has most of them.
He said most
like my
of
brother.
them.
My brother had like 8 kids. I had 1.
What they call you? They call you Pop? Pop?
They call me Pop Pop.
Pop
I
Pop.
love it. I was close with my grandfather.
Okay.
He was Pop Pop. So
Okay.
Pop Pop to them. I love it.
Pop
Best
Pop.
thing in the world.
So when you think about like your journey, and I've heard you talk about this, but you know, trying to be a husband and be a father and be in the industry at the same time, I know that there had to be some highs and lows and moments where you were able to be all the way checked in and times that you don't. And when you care so much, I can imagine how much of your heart still wanting to be back at home, but you need to travel. How did you manage that emotionally? How did you still make sure that wifey was good and that the kids were good?
Well, the biggest compliment I have to give out is to my wife for always holding the house down. She always held the house down, the kids, all that, and she allowed me to be able to pursue my dream, which a lot of times you don't find, especially in my business, because it wasn't like, you know, we got together and I was already doing music. I wasn't. We've been together since high school.
Yeah.
So it happened, you know, naturally. But her holding the house down, holding the kids down, allowing me to pursue my dream. I knew that on my end, I never wanted my children to grow up and be like, my dad wasn't around. He wasn't. So I made a conscious effort that when I start moving around and things start lining up for me in the music business, to make sure that I was home for a whole lot of things. So PTA meetings, all my kids play basketball. We're all tall. So I was at AAU tryouts, practices. You know, so when I wasn't moving around with music, I made sure when I was home that I was integral in all aspects of not just school, but weekends, making sure we take family trips, all those things.
Yeah. That's good stuff. Now you mentioned basketball more than once. I was going to talk about this a little later, but so when you think about basketball, writing, and performing, out of the 3, which one are you most passionate about that you love the most?
Writing.
You love
writing. Because to me, being a creative, it all starts with the words. Yeah. Just as a creative. I love the performing aspect because you get to see those words connect with people. But it all starts to me like with the words. Yeah, with the ideas.
But Ed, what's your process? So I'm for the first time trying to write a book, and I know writing a book is different from, but you're still writing your story. So what is your creative process? I guess I'm so stuck. It's crazy.
Really?
Yes, and I'll have thoughts when I'm driving in the car, but then when it's time to put the pen to the paper or start to typing, I get stuck. What's your creative process?
I'm about to help you with that.
Help me,
I'm
please help me.
I'm gonna help you right now, because a lot of times when you sit down and you try to do something, it doesn't flow just naturally.
Okay.
When you're in the car driving, just record it on your phone.
Okay.
Just talk freely. Put it on record and then talking. You capture it like that.
Okay.
You know, because a lot of times for me, I've gotten to the point, you know, as a songwriter that I can do it on command. Like I don't need, you know, when I tell people I'm a songwriter, they're like, really? Like, what's your process? And I'm like, just living life. You know, the thoughts they'll come to me whenever. You know, I could be sitting here, I could leave out of here and get my car and get an idea. And I put a voice note on my phone, and I can come back to it and build on it and whatnot.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's like breathing now. Actually, it's like, you know, when you see a swimmer, that's what they do. Like, yeah, just being a creative. That's what I do.
So, do you have songs that just come to you, or is it more now where someone will say, like Pharrell or somebody may say, "Listen, I need a song, and this is what I'm thinking, or this is the vision, this is the theme," or you just write and show and share?
You know what? It varies.
Either.
Yep. It varies. So sometimes you know what you're aiming for, and then sometimes you're just being creative and see what you come up with.
Okay.
But I do want to speak to the fact that you have to work on your skill set and whatever field it is that you do, to make sure that you're where you need to be. I'm always trying to push the envelope as far as like, you know, how dope it can be, how creative I can be.
Okay.
All the time.
Okay.
So you work with some of the biggest names in this thing, man. You worked with, of course, Pharrell. You worked with Dre. You worked with Kanye. Kanye was your first Grammy nomination, right?
Yes.
You worked with Kanye. Yeah. How was that experience, bro?
Man, it was. I'm sorry, it was a roller coaster. A lot of people use this word loosely, and I hear genius a lot, and I don't like to use it loosely. But what I can say is, I think that on the creative side of things, that guy's a genius. And I worked with him as a songwriter and just a creative, working with him in good music for like 13 years.
Wow.
You know, so getting to see and be a part of the process and so many songs and albums that he put out, I got to see it myself, as opposed to somebody telling me or whatnot. So just seeing, you know, his process and how I hear the finished product, but I know what it took to go from an idea to that finished product. And you really have to be at the top of your game to be able to do that and to connect with so many people. But it was a roller coaster. Yeah, because
I bet it was.
In between the studio sessions, you get the rants, you get you get all the stuff that you see and whatnot. So it was an interesting time, but I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Yeah.
So last year, the Clipse dropped another album.
Yeah.
It'd been since 2009 was the last joint, right? It was like 24 years or something like that. However many years, but 18 years, however many.
Yeah.
So that became my gym joint. I'm in the gym. I throw that joint on. Okay. Birds Don't Sing. Okay. Stevie Wonder at the end. John Legend in it. Okay. We get to Inglorious Bastards. And I'm like, I know this voice. I had to stop and go through the list.
Yeah.
I said, this is Ab. I said, man, listen.
Yeah.
And when I saw you a couple weeks ago, we was in at an event, and I said, I ran the line, is it trafficking or tricking? Somebody got to tell me the difference. That right there threw me. Yeah. And then you told me more about that. You were like, yeah, it was just more. That wasn't just it. So talk about that album and how that happened.
Man, you know, it was so dope. You know, being friends and creatives, you know, with the Clipse and with Pharrell, and us working together for years, because I was on all the Clipse albums.
Right.
Most of the Pusha T albums, and we had a group with Sandman from Philly called the Rehab Gang.
Yep.
So those are my brothers as well.
Okay.
So after so long of them having a hiatus, when it was time to get in the studio, because I was the A&R. I was A&R on the album.
Yeah, that's what you told me down there. Yes. I was like, man, listen.
Yeah, so for us to, you know, get in the studio and start working on a new album, it was exciting. And then no one outside of our circle knew what it would be.
Right.
You know, they didn't know it. You know, if it would be fire, if it would be like, you know, it's not there or whatnot. But we knew, we knew what it was that, you know, we were working on it and, you know, coming up with it and whatnot. So we did it all. Most of the album was done at the Louis Vuitton headquarters in Paris.
In Paris?
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's dope.
Pharrell is the men's creative director, Louis Vuitton.
That's right.
For their fashion
That's
joint.
right. That's right.
So he lives there, he and his family. So for us to work on the album, we had to go back and forth to Paris for like almost 2 years.
Wow.
To work on the album and whatnot. And it was a great time. It was you know, so much effort, you know, put into it to make sure that it was everything that it was supposed to be. So for it to come out, you know, last summer and be so well received, and ultimately we get 5 Grammy nominations.
Yeah, I got that list right here.
Awesome.
Album of the year, best rap album, best rap performance for Chains and Whips, best rap album, best rap song, The Birds Don't Sing, and everything. And I pray that y'all hit every one of them joints, dog. Because listen, that album, man, listen, I was in the gym. It got to the point as I'm going through the songs, I stopped lifting. I'm just sitting there listening. Dude walked up to me, though. You done with that? No, man, mind your business. I'm out here doing. But yo, man, y'all did a hell of a job on that album. And when that
funny
thing,
because when we had another episode where we were talking about our favorite artists. He brought that up, and he was like, you need to go listen to, and like he was hyped about it. I'm like, okay. And then even put it in the group text. This is all before we even knew you were coming.
Awesome.
He put it in the group text. Miss Jackson, you had homework you were supposed to be doing. I was like, okay, all right.
Yeah.
I would like to give a special shout out to one of our first sponsors, Never Alone Home Care, located on 906 West Gaffrey Avenue in Philadelphia, PA, zip code 19141.
So, but I want to ask you, and Josie hit on it a little bit, but when you were coming up, was there an artist, a performer, a writer, or anybody that you always admired or wanted to work with, and you had the opportunity to work with them?
Yes.
Who is it?
It is EST, 3 times dope.
Rob,
in
shout out.
Philadelphia. Rob.
Yeah, man.
EST, I just watched him perform here at Rashid's party.
Yes. It's funny how, you know, because I'm a fan of music first and foremost. And I remember when his first songs and then his album came out, and I'm from Mary Avenue, and he was from Hunting Park, which is like the next main street away. I used to be like, man, I'm listening to these songs and I love them. I'm like, this guy lives right up the street. Like that was crazy to me. And it was a few years later when I got in Major Figgas that we met for the first time. So to be a fan of somebody's work and then get to meet them is dope. And then he and I got a chance to, you know, work on a few things and be creative. So yeah, that's a great moment. Great moment.
That is.
Shout out to Philly, man. Philly is just, yo, we got so much talent, man.
Talent.
It's crazy. And we need to support our Philly people. I'm going to tell y'all jokers something right now. Y'all spend that money on everybody else but home. Y'all better, if you don't have a Clipse album, he was the A&R on the album. He kills his verse on it. Listen, we support each other. We spend so much money doing other shit and put money elsewhere. Support our people, man.
Yeah. Because it's, you know, it's a lot of talent here. And there's a lot of talented artists. There's a lot of people that's behind the scenes that work on a lot of projects. I just went to they had a Grammy nominee and members party the other night at South, the restaurant and whatnot. And there was so many people in there who I hadn't even met yet from our area. Wow. That's doing like amazing things and whatnot. So yeah, so the talent is definitely here.
Yeah. Ab, how would you say, because you've been in the industry for so long, and I'm sure your craft continues, you just continue to cultivate and build upon your craft, how would you say that your message or the work that you do has evolved over the years?
What I will say is, years ago, I would say the first part of my career was just off talent. And what I mean by that is, you know, the stuff that I worked on and was a part of, I was just going off of my talent. But as I got to work with bigger producers and when the attention to detail was really high, and the skill level was really high, I started understanding song making, which is totally different than just relying on talent. It's understanding song making and everything that goes into it. And really, I can kind of credit working with Kanye and good music, because I started understanding the importance of song making, doing it, and I added that to my repertoire. And it helped me out a lot, understanding how songs should be made and should be structured. So going from just going off of talent to understanding the skill sets that I needed to work at the next level, that's how I've been able to evolve and be here this long.
That's good stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
My question is within this actual subject. You are a writer. Out of everything that you have written, have you ever had a time when you went back and said, "Wow, I wrote that"?
Yes. Yes.
Just bless us. What song is that?
Well, the song that I can say was the first time I felt like that is when I did "Hot Damn" with the Clipse.
Oh yeah.
Because we had did "Hot Damn" on that album, but then Pharrell was coming out with a Neptune's album, and they did a remix of it, which was "Hot Damn" that we shot the video for.
Exactly.
Attacking the song on their album, I was like, oh man, I did a great job. But when they said they wanted to do a remix, I was like, well, how do I top what I did the first time?
Right.
And that was the challenge. And you know, and I worked on it. And when I got my first together, I was like, man, I think I really like this. So when I did it and it connected with everybody, I was like, oh man, like I hit it out the park, because I was like, how do you top something that you did that you thought was great? So the fact that we got to shoot the video in Philly and North Philly and down, you know, where I grew up at, you know, was amazing. And even now, when I see that video, and I look back like, damn, that was a good joint.
Nice. Have you ever hit a low? Like, has there ever been a low moment for you, whether it was personally, career-wise? And if you did, how did you pull yourself through or get to the other side?
All the time. All the time. That happens. That, you know, it comes with life, and it comes with the business that I'm in. That, you know, everything is not going to go the way you think it should go. Everything is not going to go according to your plan, because God's plan is a lot different than how you would plan it out.
Yes.
You know, but what I was able each time to do, because I'm a thinker, so even if when I face adversity, I just sit, I process it, I pray on it, and then I get some rest. And typically the next day or within the next few days, I'll see which way I should be going and which way I should be heading. But I always sit, think, and then I pray on it.
Does it take you time to come out of it though? Sometimes. Yeah, a little longer than others.
Yeah, but most times it's within a few days. Yeah. You know, I have a energy about myself that I don't like to be in negative spaces. So I try to get through that as quick as possible.
You seem like that. I was going to ask you what keeps you grounded, but it sounds like your faith. When you say you pray, sounds like your faith plays a big part in that.
You know, most definitely. And you know, and I grew up. I had 3 older cousins that I grew up with that were thorough, great guys, and they taught me a lot. And you know, we move like this. We don't move like this. We do this. We don't do that. We don't do that. And I grew up with that. So before I got into the music business, that's kind of how I always was with things. So, you know, getting into the music business, because if you believe the hype, then you lost. You know, I remember when I was Ab from Area Avenue, nobody knew I rapped. You know, I was trying to, you know, get something going and whatnot. So I never lost sight of that. So I can go work with Pharrell tomorrow, and then I come home and I'm Ab. So that doesn't change.
But how do you weed out? So, you know, with social media can make a person's life, well, people can make their lives seem like it appears one way, and that we don't have any problems, don't have any challenges. And then you have a lot of people that gravitate towards you, not because of who you are, but because of who you are, right? Not because of who you are, but because of who you are. How do you weed that out? How do you determine if this person should be up here close to me, or this is, you know?
It's a feeling thing. A friend of mine told me this when I was like 19, and I've used it ever since. He said, take a box, and you put everybody in different boxes that you have. So if I meet you and we hit it off and we have great conversation, I'm going to put you in the box where I have everybody else that I feel like that about. And if I get a weird feeling, I'm going to sit you in that box right over here where everybody. So if you do something out of care, it's not going to surprise me. I had you over here. And all the people that I got great energy I feel about, I got over here. That's all I expect. I
do the same.
My interactions and whatnot.
So there's not a lot of disappointment, and, people, and because you already I already expected that out of you. You didn't know this, but I expected that out of you anyway.
That part.
Now, if you put someone in that other box and they disappoint you, that could hurt.
That's the one that jack you up a little bit. Yeah, that'll throw you off.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. So I like the fact that you use your faith, use your gut. And you deal with energy. I could tell that though, about the energy piece of it. Like just the way that you speak with a smile, you know. And like I said, with a lot of people that's in the industry, or it don't even have to be this industry. If you have reached a certain plateau or place in life, sometimes people tend to talk to you like they're here.
I see it.
And you're here. And it's so interesting. Because some circles I'm in now, I wasn't in before, but I'm running across the same people that I knew before. I'm in a little bit in some of these other rooms, and now you remember me.
It's different.
Now you know me.
It's different.
And now you see me, and I just think and I'm not nowhere near that, but I'm just saying you can have those experiences with people when they don't think that you can bring anything or give anything or do anything, they barely see you, and then when they realize that there might be some value in this.
And I still keep it at arm's length. I keep everything at arm's length. I can speak and but I keep it at arm's length. I keep that distance there. And those are close to me. I'll always be there.
I always felt that he valued his privacy.
And
it's been moments, and I can think back on 2 or 3 different occasions that I've been in the same room with him. You know when he walks in a room because he's a very tall individual. But once he's in the room and once he's settled where he's at, that's where he's at, and you don't even know that he's there. He's not. He's not a loud person. He's not a. You know what I mean? It's not. It's hey, I'm here. You know what I mean? And he's not that type of person. And he speaks well, and he speaks to everyone.
Very humble.
So
I experienced that.
I do want to ask you. I do want to ask you this question because you are so private. Because and you value your privacy. But what you do post on social media from time to time. So what are some things that you may want to tell us that people don't know about you?
Man, you know, me and my friends and I, we enjoy bidding and laughing all the time and a good time. Like, you know, so if I'm with my friends like Jay, like Jay Ryder.
Yeah, that damn fool.
Like we've been best friends since like 9th grade.
He put an awesome post up about you too recently.
He did. I saw it this morning.
Yeah.
And he posted my graduation, my high school yearbook picture. I said, yo.
Yeah.
But that's my man though. That's my man.
Jay Ryder.
And that's how I met Ab. I met Ab through Jay back in probably like 2013. We met when me and Nate was bartending. Yeah. And been a solid dude ever since. But I got another question. I've been kind of assigned to ask all the music stuff.
Okay.
Kind of.
Oh, good.
How was it working with Dre? Now I had the opportunity to meet Dre. I met Dre back in 2000, and I tell you how I met him. I told you I was doing comedy back then too, and I had a manager, and we had a dude we went to California for the World Championship at Performing Arts, and we were at the sushi bar on Santa Monica Boulevard.
Okay.
My manager went over to Dre because she had another guy with her that did production. Dre, listen, he was like, "Here's my card. Come to the studio tomorrow, 1 o'clock."
Wow.
Bro, listen. We pull up at 1 o'clock. Dre pulls up. He had an S500, I think a silver joint, if I'm not mistaken. He was working on Exhibit's album.
Okay.
Because the studio had the first floor, the desk, the booth was there, and then it had the second floor with the pool table. Okay. We go up at that joint, and he got working on Exhibit's album for a long time, and he couldn't get to us. He said, "Come back tomorrow at 1 o'clock." We came back at 1 o'clock. He gave my man a run to the studio.
Awesome.
Dre was just like, I'm thinking NWA, F the police, Dre. He gonna be like, "Get the F out of here." How was it working with him?
Man, that's one of the most amazing times and spaces that I've had in this business. Working with Dr. Dre,
right,
and becoming like friends.
Okay.
We became friends. I worked with him for years. But being a like again, I spoke about EST, being a fan of someone, because I was a fan of his forever, since NWA, and starting to get into work with him, it was like, oh man, this is awesome. But I was there for a reason,
right? And
I wanted to learn. So getting to write for him and work with him and watch his creative process and I learned so much from him. You can't put a price tag on everything that I learned from him. So it was an amazing experience, and we're good to this day.
Yeah, that dude's I was surprised. We thinking NWA Dre that he gonna be like whatever, but he gave my man a shot, man, and gave him a full run of the studio. He didn't have to do that, man, to complete strangers. And so I always had love for him. When people talk stuff about Dre, man, that dude's a different dude, man. There's certain people that I've met that I have a different vision of and view of than other people though.
No, amazing, man. Like he took me in, literally. I met him. He had left some beats for me to rap to, because they had flew me out to L.A.
Right.
And when I got there, he and his wife were away for the weekend, so I rapped to all the beats, and he heard it when he came back, and they had me come back to L.A. And we talked, and he was like, "Listen, man, I think you dope. I'm on the road with Eminem. When I come back, man, let's get in the studio and just work." And I wound up moving out there and working with him for like the next few years, like just learning.
That's dope.
And it was an amazing experience.
That's dope. Good stuff.
All right, we're getting a little notice that we're going to take a quick break and come back, because we have some more. We're not ready to end this conversation. Not at all.
Keep going.
We canceled the rest of our day. It's all about Ab today.